have done to develop our learning environment and our school even further. I was for the first time here in Moscow, like a month ago in Strelka. And this is my third trip in Moscow, now on. I heard that after my first presentation, we had really good discussion there. Some parents have gone to some companies and even bought equipment or furniture by themselves for their children. Because the most important question here in Moscow for parents is, when their children are like 6 or 7 years old, that into which school they will put, or we will put our children, because we all want the best, or serve best education for our children. So, in my presentation of this short speech, I tried to present you how to take frog leap from our school to our new school. I tried to point out by pictures some of the ideas what Alexei Semenov just described. I'm originally a teacher, but for like last 10 or 12 years I've developed education environments in the education department and university or research institute called CIE, Center for Internet Excellence and Future Internet. And now I'm representing a company called Finmeda. But we should not look to myself, but this 7-year-old girl, Marta, who is looking optimistically towards the future with the globe in her hand. So all the possibilities wide open. We as teachers, we try to help her to reach her best. So through Marta and our youngsters, we have the fastest way to develop the whole society further. Which one of you have the television on left-hand side? I guess nobody anymore, because the media is the same, but we have developed the application much further. There's like cloud services, Wi-Fi services, and 65 inches in right-hand side television. So in the education as well, we should look towards the future, not past or not today. In my speech, I try to give some answers to these key questions about standards and quality. I think you should listen regions, because Russia is a wide country, and in Moscow you don't know what's going on in different regions, so you should listen regions very carefully and create those kind of standards that it's universal schooling. And maybe we have to change some legislation because of that, but that's for the future. Financial resources are always a problem, but now this financial situation is still quite good. So from oil, gas, natural resources, should we invest some money for the education, for our children, because they are our future. And this does not mean very much, but by using same resources, we can do a bit differently, get a different type of desk, and the outcomes will be different. So what's the action plan for this kind of change? Let's have a look. From concrete solutions, ground to up, and Future School of Russia. Children today, she does not, like Marta, she does not need just basic skills, but learning and thinking skills and strategies, media literature skills, and social and interaction skills. So she looks phenomena and inquiry problems. She does not take into consideration or not so much care what kind of environment she is using. So our children's learning opportunities, they will be global. So that's why they need social interaction skills and media and collaborative learning environments. Our new school is not just a school, it's more like multi-purpose house or community learning center. We have new kind of concept for a school made from log houses, which will be healthy, really long-lasting, modifiable, and quite universal, even like earthquakes, it can last. But we need to develop our schools from student perspective, teacher perspective, and transform our classrooms to new era. Because classrooms are in the heart of learning situations. Corridors, lobby areas, media-enhanced learning environment, libraries and outdoor spaces needs also some changes. But we should see all spaces as learning spaces. On the left-hand side, there's like traditional classroom. When you ask our teachers, only 10% of them want to have these kind of classrooms. 31% want to have future-oriented classroom, like in these exhibition areas. But most of the teachers, they want to have the kind of classroom in the middle. And they are ready to move on to this cozy, relaxing, motivating, more colorful learning environments where you can use like modifiable or modified learning environments. Some years ago, a colleague from Chile, Mihail Nussbaum, we met in Australia and we were talking, and he said that, "Hey Pasi, magical number is number 3. So if there's like myself, I have thinking only in my head. If we two are discussing, then we have different opinions. If there's third one, then we have always another opinion or good point of view. If there's like fourth one, then we can do like parties and it's not good anymore. So magical number is number 3. And by creating this kind of classrooms, we can easily separate desks in different shapes or groups or styles. And not just physical spaces, but we can model these solutions to 3-dimensional virtual learning environments. There are some examples on the background what we have do so far. But my suggestion is that next year this innovation forum will look already quite different in this point of view. Because virtual learning or 3D learning environments, augmented mixed reality possibilities, and electrical books are coming. And that's why we need to have holistic model to change our school. Vision and strategy, curriculum development, then physical and virtual learning environment. But the most work we have to do with teachers and how to train them to use new pedagogies and methodologies. And this change does not happen overnight. And this is why we have to have like international collaboration as well. Or some tools or measurements how to develop these kind of vision and strategies. If you collect that puzzle, it will be a cube. So there's a technology, there's actually teachers, strategic leaders, in-service training, technologies, and physical school infrastructure. What you have to take into consideration and develop those all towards the future. And by doing that, we have a possibility to achieve that big leap to our new school. But not apart from the rest of the society. If you think like national or regional policy or City of Moscow policy, you have innovation and foundational background in the bottom, then architecture at the top of it, active citizenship and education, research, development activities and cluster policies. And from this sector we come to living labs. And then attend to the issues that, for example, Pavel is taking care. So smart hubs and small communities. So from public sector we go to public, private and business sector. And that will be the key for the future as well. And that's why we should educate our children from kindergarten up to vocational and higher education. To have more skills to match the demands for the future education.
Thank you, Pasi.